Everybody stand up. Cristel, will you please lead us a short prayer?
Tayo po ay upuan, manalangin, Panginoon, na makapangyarihan sa lahat, ang pulito po namin pinupulit na masalamatan, na lumalapit po kami sa iyo, Panginoon, ang ipagtumbang ang loob, Panginoon Jesus, humingi ng karunungan, Panginoon, upang maunawaan namin, Panginoon Jesus, ano man ang pag-aaralan namin sa araw na ito. Ikaw po ang magbigay sa amin ng karunungan, ng wisdom, Panginoon, Panginoon, ang aming pag-aaralan ay maintindihan namin at tumimo sa aming mga isipan. Ito po ang aming panalangin in Jesus' name.
Amen and amen. Good morning, class.
Good morning, sir.
So before you take your seat, will you please pick up some pieces of paper under your chair or the truss around you. And please arrange your chair, Gerald. Okay, thank you. You may take your seat. Alright, so before we proceed to our lesson, let us first check your attendance. Is there any absent?
Answer.
Okay, very good that there's no absent today. So, okay. So before we proceed to our lesson, okay, so let us have first a review about the previous lesson we discussed yesterday, okay? So I have here a guide question and you're going to answer these 6 questions. Number 1, Gerald, will you please share to us what is our previous lesson?
The previous lesson that we tackled is all about the basic elements of a sentence.
Very good, you may take your seat. And how about you, Cristel? Do you still remember what is a sentence?
Yes, sir. A sentence is a group of words that usually contains subject and a verb and expresses complete idea.
Very good, thank you so much. How about what are the two basic? Yes, Joella.
The 2 basic elements of a sentence are the subject and the predicate.
Excellent, thank you so much. Number 4, what are the 2 types? Yes, Cristel.
The 2 types of verb that we already tackled are transitive and intransitive verbs.
Very good, thank you so much. The 5th question, Gerald. Will you please differentiate the direct and indirect object?
Sir, for me, the direct object refers to the person or thing that affects by the action of the verb, while the indirect object refers to the person who benefits by the action of the verb.
Thank you so much, Gerald. And last question, Jay. What are the 2 types of complement?
Sir, the 2 types of complements in the sentence are the subject complements and object complements.
Thank you so much. So, I'm so glad because you learned something in our previous lesson. Thank you so much. So, now we're done with our recap. So, let us now proceed to our lesson properly. But, before that, let us have a pair game. Okay? So, magkakaroon tayo ng laro. And, we can call this letter puzzle. Okay? I know that you have an idea, but my question is, are you ready, class?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
I think it's not loud. Are you ready, class?
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay. So now, find your partner, please.
Sir, si Ate Joelle.
Yes, Joella and Cristel, Jay and
Sir.
Gerald. Okay, now that you have a partner, here's the direction. I have here a 21 jumbled letters, and you are about to put these letters in a proper order for you to create a word. Are you ready?
Yes,
sir.
Who wants first pair, who wants to try?
Sir.
Okay, Jay and Gerald, come over here. Okay, are you both ready?
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir. So, here's the 21 jumbled letters and you are going to put this. Anyway, Joella and Cristel, will you please turn your chair for you to not be able to see the words that they are going to complete. Alright, so I think that you are both ready. Okay, here's the 21 jumbled letter. You are going to put it in the floor for you to complete the word, okay? Okay, I have here a timer, and then the pair that finish the game faster will have an additional points in our activity later, okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I hope that you're ready. Your timer starts now. Okay, be careful with the letters. Again, that's our 21 jumbled letter, okay? That you need to complete to create a one word. Just only one word. I think Gerald have an already idea about the word, and also Jay. Okay, okay. You have 48 seconds already. Alright, Kristen.
Sir, the word that we
Okay.
comprehensibilities, the word that we
Yes, you are correct. You are correct. Okay. Thank you so much, Jay and Gerald. You may take your seat. Nice try, nice try. Okay. Thank you so much, Jay and Gerald. Okay, the time you spend in completing the words is 1 minute and 7 seconds. Okay, may I invite the last pair, Joella and Cristel? Alright, I know you heard already the direction. I have here a timer, and you are going to put that in the floor for you to be able to create a basic word. Okay, are you both ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, your timer starts now. Okay, be careful, Cristel, with the letter. Put that in a proper order. Remember, do not let one letter left behind, letter left behind rather. Okay. You're too faster than Gerald and Jay. What the Okay, you're almost done.
Sir, incomprehensibilities.
Yes, very good. You may take your seat. And thank you so much. You may take your seat. And the word that we have is incomprehensibilities. Alright. So let us reveal their score. Your score is 53 seconds. So, congratulations, Joella and Cristel, because you will receive an additional points because you win the game, okay? Later, I will give you an additional points in our activity, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. And class, thank you for your active participation. Then, my question is, what does the game mean to you? Yes, Joella.
The game realized me the importance of every letter to create a word.
Very good. Thank you so much. So, in connection to our formal discussion today or formal lesson today, the word is important to create a sentence. So later on, you will understand more what I'm talking about, okay? Now, let us now proceed to our formal discussion. Our topic for today is about basic sentence patterns in English. Do you have any idea about this topic? I think you don't have any idea because you're silent. Yes, you don't have any idea. Now, before we discuss that, thank you, Christelle. Now, let us define first what is basic pattern, okay? Basic pattern is an arrangement. You can take down notes while I'm discussing here. Basic pattern is an arrangement of words. And this arrangement, listen class, this arrangement needs to be in a grammatically correct structure. Remember that. Next is basic pattern made up of phrases and clauses. So let us recall the definition of phrases and clauses. Phrases is a group of connect words, but it is not a complete sentence. Do you still remember, Christelle, the phrases? Okay, very good. Because it is a missing subject and or a verb. While the clauses contains a subject, which is the actor in the sentence, and a verb, which is action, or the verb, the action of the actor. Okay? Next definition, basic pattern, it usually operate using similar pattern. And the question is, what are those? What are those similar patterns? Those are the subject, the verb, and an object. Those are the three similar patterns that we can see in the basic pattern. Okay, next. Basic pattern, it starts from the most basic to the most complex. So in other words, basic pattern, it starts from easy to difficult one. Did you get it?
Yes.
Okay. So that now you have a definition about the basic pattern. I hope you understand. Let us move on to our main topic. So this is our main topic for this session. The five basic sentence patterns in English. Actually, there are several basic patterns in English, but these five are the most used in constructing a sentence. Alright, so here's the 5 basic patterns in English. The number 1 would be SLVC. Number 2, SIV. Number 3, STVDO. And number 4, STVIODO. And lastly, finally, STVDOOC. And do not worry because later on you will find the meaning of each pattern, okay? Now, let us discuss one by one. Let us talk about first the basic pattern number 1, which is the SLVC. Crystal, will you please read what is SLVC mean?
Subject plus linking verb plus complements.
Thank you so much. You may take your seat. Okay, let us define this. SLVC, or subject, linking verb, and a complement. We have here, okay, take a look this. We have here a linking verb. Ngayon, linking verb are the types of verbs that join the subject with an adjective or another noun. Again, some commonly used of linking verbs includes am, be, are, is, was, were, and seem. So those are the commonly used in linking verbs. Okay, the be, am, are, is, was, and were. Apart from linking verbs, we have a so-called, we can use a sense verb. Okay, we can use a sense verb in this pattern. Sense verb is a verb that describes one of the 5 senses rather. So, will you please tell to me what are the 5 senses, Joella? Do you still remember? The J? Sense of hearing. Cristel?
I don't remember completely, sir, pero hearing,
Yes, hearing, correct.
I don't remember, sir.
Yes, Gerald. Thank you, Cristel.
For me, sir, the 5 senses are hearing, sight, taste,
Yes.
touch, smell.
Smell. Very good. Thank you so much, Gerald. So those are the 5 senses, okay? Or remember the 5 senses, class. Alright. So those are the senses verb perceived by the sense of sight, sense of smell, sense of hearing, sense of touch, and sense of smell. On the other hand, alright, on the other hand, subjective complement. Okay, subjective complement is a word or a group of words that often follow a linking or sense verb. It can be either be a noun or can be either be nouns, pronouns, or an adjectives. So, in Tagalog, yung subjective complement daw ay pwedeng nouns, pronouns, and it can be adjectives. So, for you to clearly understand what is SLVC pattern, here are the examples. Number 1, she looks happy. Now, here in this example, our subject is she. Okay. As you look in this example, the words looks. Okay, the word looks is a sense verb because it perceives through sight. Again, like I said earlier, sense verb is describe one of the 5 senses. Okay, linking verb, it can be a sense verb. You can use sense verb. What are those? Looks, ayan, perceived by the sight. And taste, perceived by the sense of taste. You know? Next. And then, we can replace the linking verb, yung commonly used linking verb. What are those? Be, is, was, were, seen. Right? So those are the linking verbs commonly used. We can use the linking verb. Let me write this. So she looks happy. Like I've said earlier, we can replace the linking verb into commonly used linking verbs. What are those? Is, be, are, was, seems, etc. So we can replace this, we can erase this, and replace the word is. Therefore, our sentence would be, she is happy. So that is the SLVC pattern. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Another example for you to fully understand. Another example. Gerald, will you please read the number 2 example?
Orange and yellow are bright colors.
Thank you. Our subject here is the orange and yellow. And our linking verb is the commonly used linking verb, which is are. And our complement here is bright colors. Now, orange and yellow are bright color. So that is our second colors rather. Second example. Now, we say that subjective complement is a word of group of words that often follow a linking verb or sense verb. So, bright color, kino-complement niya ang orange and yellow. That is subject, linking verb, and complement. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Did you get it? Okay, thank you so much. Next. Yes? Okay. Gerald, I know that you already understand. Will you please give me another example?
Sir. The food tastes bad.
Okay, let us write. The food
Taste bad.
tastes
Bad.
bad. Again, it can be an adjective. Now, our subject here is the food, and the taste is a sense verb, right? So, this is our linking verb, and bad complement, or our subject complement, kino-complement niya ang food. I hope you understand. Okay, next. Our next sentence pattern is SIV. Joella, will you please read what is SIV?
Subject plus intransitive verb.
Thank you so much. You may take your seat. Alright. When we are learning the basic patterns, tandaan nyo to. When we are learning the basic sentence pattern, it is the simplest sentence type. Remember that, ha? Alalahanin yan. It is the simplest sentence type. Grammatically speaking, intransitive verbs do not need a direct object. Later on, you will understand. Or unlike the transitive verbs. Okay? So, those are yung two types of verbs we already discussed, right? The transitive and intransitive verb. So, this is not new for you. It is known for you now. In the most common cases, dynamic and locomotive verbs belong to this pattern. So, what is dynamic and locomotive? This is the verb, or these are the verbs that expresses movement. So, may action. May action na mangyayari. Also, this pattern uses verbs that are in the base form and doesn't need supporting information. Because, bakit hindi na kailangan ng supporting information here? Because the thought of the sentence was already completed by the action. So, for you to fully understand, here's the examples. Number 1, she swims. And our subject here is she, and intransitive verb here is swims. Again, intransitive verb, or commonly, it can replace a locomotive verb. As you can see here, swims expresses movement. Expresses movement. Yes. Number 2, the book fell. So the subject here is the book, and intransitive verb here is fell. And number 3, Peter marches. Subject, Peter, and intransitive verb, marches. So that's why this pattern is called simplest sentence type. We have a subject and we have verb. Okay? Cristel, if you understand truly, will you please give me another example?
Peter is missed.
Peter is missed, just like what the number 3. Okay, Peter is missed. What is the subject, Joella? Peter. What is the intransitive verb, J? Very good, thank you so much. I hope you follow. Alright, so our third. This time let us move on to our third basic sentence pattern. In English, we have the STVDO. So, STVDO refers to subject plus transitive verb plus direct object. We have used, here, we use transitive verb. That means, intransitive verb do not need supporting information. And here, we use transitive verbs, which means that mean and or that mean a direct object. Remember, when you have a transitive, again, when you have a transitive verb, meaning you need a direct object. Now later on, you will find it in our example. Now, the trick, okay, tuturuan ko kayo para mas maintindihan. The trick here is to make sure that the verb answers the question what. Okay? Next, moreover, this pattern can be in a S form, most especially the stative verb. So what is a stative verb? That verb that describes state of being. Stative verb is the verb that describes state of being. And STVTO patterns, unlike the SID pattern, it needs supporting information, as I've said earlier. So yung transitive verb, kailangan na supporting information, while the intransitive verb doesn't need supporting information. Now, here's the examples for you to understand more. Number 1, they are baking cookies and cakes. Here, our transitive verb is are baking. And our direct object here is cookies and cakes. Now, to simplify this example, what they are baking? The cookies and the cakes. So that transitive and direct object connect. Again, direct object refers to what? What they are baking? The cookies and cakes. Okay, that would be the third one. Another example. The batter hit the ball. So our subject here is the batter. Our transitive verb here is hit, and the direct object here is the ball. Now, the question is, what the batter hits? The ball, which is our direct object. In the first example, what they are baking, our direct object would be cookies and cakes. So that is very simple, right? Always remember, if you are in this pattern or STVTO pattern, you're going to ask yourself, okay, what they are baking? The cookies and the cakes, which is our direct object. Okay? Now, Joella, will you please give another example if you have?
It teaches English.
It teaches English. All right. It teaches English. Again, STVTO pattern. Example here. Will you please reiterate?
He teaches English.
He teaches English. Gerald, what is our subject here? He. Very good. And what is our transitive verb, Cristel?
Teaches.
Teaches. Very good. And English is our direct object. Again, in this pattern, you are going to ask yourself, what? What he teaches?
English.
English. So that is very easy, right?
Yes.
Next. Are you following, guys, with our discussion? Next, our fourth basic sentence patterns in English would be the STVIODO. Ngayon, this refers to the subject plus transitive verb plus indirect object and direct object. Now, let me reiterate the meaning of indirect object and direct object. Now, the indirect object, STV, our pattern would be the STV, IO, and EO. Now, indirect object identifies to whom. Always remember, to whom, or to what. Right. Next, to what the actions. While the direct object is refers to question of whom or what. Just like here, what direct object, what it teaches? English. So it is our direct object. Now, we have we added intransitive verb. Here's the example for you to understand. Examples: Mary lent Josh money. So indirect object here is, what is our indirect object here? Josh. Now, our direct object here is money, which is what Josh received. Now, let us write Mary lent Josh money. Now, first you are going to ask yourself, what Mary lent to Josh? Money. So this is our direct object. And for whom? For whom the money? Josh. So this is our indirect object. For whom and what? So it is, you are going to ask yourself for the indirect object, to whom or for whom. And the direct object is what? What Josh received? The money. Alright, next example. Anna taught her the answer. What is our subject here?
Anna.
Very good. What is our transitive verb? Taught. Yes, very good. And our indirect object here is? Her. And our direct object here is? The answer. Very good. Now, there is an instances, or interestingly, there are instances where the subject or the direct object comes first before the indirect object. So, ibig sabihin, meaning to say, it transpose or it change the structure. Magiging, instead of STVIOEO, it becomes STVDOIO. Now, here's the example. He gave him the money. He gave him the money. Our subject here is he. Okay, our subject here is he, and our transitive verb here is gave, and indirect object is for whom? For him. Tama? Next, our direct object is what? What is for whom? The money. Now, let us transpose this. Let us transpose this. He gave him the money. Let us transpose into subject, transitive verb, and direct object, and IO. Now, he gave him money. The money, sorry. Gave him the money. Now let us transpose the indirect object into direct object. He is our subject. Gave is our transitive verb. He gave. Let us put the money here. He gave the money to him. Now, our direct object here is the money. So, nalipat. What he gave? The money. For whom? To him. This is our indirect object and this is our direct object. Now, we add a preposition. This is what we call preposition. From the word itself, position. So, magbabago yung kanyang structure. Very good. Magbabago ang kanyang structure so that it becomes, he gave the money to him. The structure will change, but the meaning is the same. So that is the spirit. Another example, yes? Yes, Gerard, you have another example for you to be more understand? Wait, I give another example. Now, Christelle, do you have an example?
Give the conductor our tickets.
Yes, Gerald, for you to clearly understand, let us have,
Give
I gave
the
the
conductors
conductors
our tickets.
our tickets.
And
Gerald, will you please identify what is our indirect object here? Indirect object is question 4. For what? For whom? I gave the conductors our tickets. Our tickets. Are you sure?
conductors, right? Kasi to whom?
To whom? I is our subject. Give is our transitive verb. And the conductor,
Is the indirect.
indirect object. What you gave to the conductor, Gerald? Our tickets. So this would be our direct object. Very good. Now, let us transpose this into STVDOIO. Lipat natin. I gave
Our tickets
our tickets,
to the
our tickets to the,
conductors.
very good, conductors. Again, let me reiterate, we add, what is this? Preposition, very good. To positioning the construction. Very good. Now, I gave subject, I gave transitive verb. Our ticket is our direct object, and to the conductor is our indirect object. Again, what I gave? The tickets. This is our direct object. Again, direct object is answerable what? Or answer the question what? And our indirect object is for conductor is no question for whom or for what. Alright? I hope you follow. Next, tone down to our basic sentence pattern. We have the last. Okay, the last. Like I said earlier, the basic pattern is it starts from the most basic to difficult one. So this is the difficult one. The STVDO DVDOOC complement or OC pattern. What are those? Subject, intransitive verb, direct object, and object complement. Now, unlike subjective complements, wherein often follow a linking verb, like we have said earlier, subjective complement often follows the linking or sense verb, while objective complement describe a direct object. What is direct object? For our answers the question, what? So yung what, dinidescribe na objective complement yung ating what question. Now, the objective complement in this pattern refers to a specific description of the direct object. Description, take note ha. Objective complement refers to a specific description of the direct object, being done with the subject with the use of the verb. Generally, sa kabuuan, the objective complement, it could be a noun, an adjective, or an adverb. So, for you to fully understand or clearly understand here our examples. Number 1, she called the boy attractive. Now, our objective complement here is attractive. And I said earlier that it refers, in our second bullet, it refers to the specific description of the direct object. Now, our direct object here is, meaning to say, our direct object here complement, describe the direct object, which is the boy who called the noun. Another example, they painted the house blue. So, ulit natin. Now, let us have the example number 2. They painted the house. Let us identify first the structure. What is they? Is our...
The house.
Sorry. Kulang ng ayon. Sorry. Yes? What is our they is refers to? Subject. Very good. Painted is refers to? Transitive verb. Very good. The house is refers to? Direct object. And blue is? Object complement. Now, we say that it is object complement is refers to the specific description of what? Direct object. Meaning to say, sa Tagalog, dinedescribe ng object complement ang direct object. Did you understand? Alright, so, who wants to give another example? Anyone, Gerald?
Sir, I found the book.
I found
The book interesting.
the
Book
book
interesting.
interesting. Tama? Interesting. Now, Jay, what is our What is our direct object? Louder, please. The book. Very good. Direct object is our book. And interestingly is our object. This is a specific description. That's why the book describe object complement, which is interesting. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Now let us have. Do you still remember the number 1 pattern? Yes, Kristen.
SLVC. Subject linking verb complement.
Very good. And how about number 2, Gerald? SIV or subject plus intransitive verb. Next. Subject, intransitive verb, and direct object. Number 4, Joella, will you please read?
Subject plus transitive verb plus indirect object plus direct object.
Very good, thank you. And lastly, Jay, what is our last pattern?
Subject plus transitive verb plus direct object plus object complement.
Very good. So that's it. So that's are the five basic sentence pattern in English. The STVDO, the SIV, the SO, or the STVDO, STVID, IODO, and STVDOOC, and SLVC. Do you have any questions?
Sir.
None. So, thank you for listening, and if you have some question, just raise your hand. For you to understand more what are the five basic patterns. Okay? None?
Sir.
None question. Very good. I hope you understand. Okay?
Yes.
I hope you follow the five basic sentence pattern. Now, because you don't have any question, let us have a short activity. Okay. Get 1/4. Do you have a yes? 1/4 sheet of paper, and I'm giving you 5 minutes. I'm giving you 5 minutes to answer the 5 questions. And these are the direction. Here's the direction. Identify what basic pattern is used in the following sentences. We're going to identify what basic pattern.
Sir, copy and answer.
No, just answer. Put an answer. You're going to do that in 5 minutes.
Sir, I am not talaga yung
Yes? You're going to identify what basic pattern is used in the following sentences. Even though that is I am, let's have let's have a sentence pattern. Let's have a pattern. Okay? Okay, 3 minutes. I hope you got a perfect score because you don't have any question for you to be more understand that. I think Crystal is matatapos na. Two minutes. Okay, if you are done, check your answer. One minute. Are you done with the activity?
Not
continue answering. Check more the answers. I think Gerald is thinking deeply about the answers. Are you done, Jay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How about you, Gerald? Very good. Joella? Are you still answering? Christelle, are you done? Again, when we encounter the direct object, it refers to, or it answers the question, what? And while intransitive verb, or direct object rather, it questions for whom or for what, or to whom or to what. Okay? So just ask yourself in every sentences, in every questions. Are you done, Joella? I think time is over, right? You may exchange your paper to your seatmates and let us check your answers. Okay, face the monitor and see the answers in every question. William Shakespeare was a popular playwright. This have a pattern SLVC, or subject, linking verb, and complement. And number 2, we found the movies scary. Our pattern here is subject, transitive verb, direct object, and object complement. And number 3 is so basic, or the simplest sentence type, which is the subject and intransitive verb. Number 4, we bought our boat a new tachometer. The pattern here is subject, transitive verb, indirect object, and direct object. And lastly, we have subject, transitive verb, and direct object. Now, let us clarify. Wait, who got the perfect score? 9? How about 4? Exchange your paper muna. Count the number correct. Count the number of correct answers. Who got 4? Who got 3? Very good, Christelle. 2? 1? Yes, very good. So, nice try. So, for you to fully understand, let us recall those answers. So, number 1, William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare was a popular playwright. Now, we say that the structure is SLVC. Let us identify what is the subject. Kristen?
William Shakespeare.
Very good. And our linking verb? Was? Yes, very good. And our complement?
Popular. Playwright.
Popular playwright. So that's it. How about the number 3? Who got correct? Who's correct here? Alright, everyone is correct. How about the number 2? We found the movies scared. Just like Gerald give an example earlier, right? We found the movies scary. We is our subject, found is our transitive verb, and the movies is our direct object, and our scary is object complement. Again, direct object and answers the question 1, and object complement and describes the direct object. Who among you work in this? Christelle only. Number 4. We bought our boat a new taco eater. Our sentence pattern is subject. What is our subject here? We. And boat is our transitive verb, and our boat is indirect object. New taco meter is direct. Again, indirect object is for whom or to what. For what or for whom, or to whom or to whom or to what. Okay? Again, we both what? For very good. Lastly, I played. Who is wrong in this in this number? Who's wrong? J? Ikaw din? All of you? So now, you already understand na, ha? I played the piano. Ayan, sorry. I played the piano. Our subject is I. Transitive verb is transitive verb is play. The piano is our direct object. What I played? The piano. That's why it is our direct object. Very good. Now, nice try. Let us have an assignment. So for your assignment, please write your assignment. For your assignment, you are going to write 5 sentences. 5 sentences about the person you treasure the most. Identify the basic patterns you use in your sentences. Make sure to use the different patterns you learn. And number 2, what are the different kinds of nouns? Define each and give 2 examples for each kind. So, that is your assignment. Please write your assignment. Alright? So, let's end our discussion for today. So, I hope you learned something.
Yes, sir.
Class, you learned something?
Yes, sir.
So, let's end our discussion for today. So, see you on next meeting. Goodbye, class.
Bye,
sir.
Bye.